Hello and welcome to Critical Conversations. Let me do that mic check real quick. Okay, we're good. How are you guys today? I am excited to be here with you. I have been really enjoying podcasting, and I hope that you are enjoying listening and following along. I am curious what it is that you guys want to hear from me, what's beneficial for you. I'm a manifesting generator. Wow, I feel like I said that weird. I'm a manifesting generator with a 2-4, which means basically my personality is all over the place all the time. If you do my Myers-Briggs, I am a campaigner, and I think there's like I forget the name of it, but there's another personality test, and Nigel and I always laugh because my personality, it's actually the same as his mom's, which is funny and not funny in the same way. But it's essentially the profile that I am flying a helicopter while learning to cook French cuisine, while undergoing training for martial arts, while wanting to learn how to fly a jet plane and land in, the middle of a lake. So very multifaceted, multidimensional. Like I always want to be trying something new, learning something new. And I think that sometimes it gets you into trouble. It gets me into trouble because I can get bored. And so I think this is why I'm a serial entrepreneur. This is why I'm constantly like, how do I do this? How do I do this? What if I did this? How could I make this a business? Because I just have this endless curiosity about how could it get better? What could be different? And how could every day be so unique? And so when I look at my life and what has got me the most excited, the thing that has resonated for me is when I follow my spiritual side and I allow my genius of my business understanding and my, just life education, when I allow those two things to merge, that's really when I'm my most best self, my most productive self, when I feel the most energetically renewed, is when I really allow everything to collect and combine and become like this one juicy machine. And so I like to think of myself, as a very multi-passionate person. And I think that a lot of people get into entrepreneurship because they're passionate about their trade or their service or their product, right? So, you might be really passionate about being an electrician, or really passionate about real estate, or really passionate about making jewelry or clothing or shoes. You might be really passionate about bookkeeping and finance. You might be really passionate about computer programming. And so I think a lot of people who become entrepreneurs are passionate about the thing that they do, but they aren't always the best at business. And I think what it takes is this beautiful blend of, I'm passionate about this thing, and I also understand this economic environment that we live in, where I really have to consider my 3D human experience and the way the world works. And so I think right now, this topic that we're going to get into about spirituality as an entrepreneur is really, I think it's the most important conversation that we need to be having. And I think that we need to be having it as independent creators on this earth, but I also think that it's a larger conversation that we need to be having as a collective of, what do we want our world to look like? And it's really interesting because I've been doing a bunch of podcast interviews. I love to batch content. That's something that I got really good at because I'm multifaceted, because I have the property management business, my coaching business, my trucking business, trying to open another business, want to do more business. Because I have all these different things, it became really, really important for me to get organized, to get really honest and be very intentional. So I'm batching content in my coaching business. I'm spending 4 hours every week where I'm recording podcasts, I'm drafting emails, I'm scheduling content. And what that has done is it has released this pressure of like, oh fuck, I didn't get to it, or like, trying to stay up late to get it done. And so I think one of the things that is so key in entrepreneurship is understanding your like zone of genius. Like, what's the best way that you work as an entrepreneur? So for me, a few years ago, I was a little bit chaotic. It was kind of like I would come down in my office and I'd be like, okay, what do I need to do for this business today? What do I need to do for this business today? And it was like scattered. And on those days, that period of my life, I kind of just always felt like nothing ever got done. And it was just kind of like, you're always late to the game. And so when we think about entrepreneurship, we know that there are things that we need to do in our business. We need to look at our bank accounts. We need to understand our finances. We need to understand our profit and loss statements. We need to be in our books weekly, if not daily. We need to be, always attracting more sales. So our marketing, we need to be building brand authority. We really need people to have awareness of what it is that we're out there to offer, because if people don't know about us, we're not making sales. So what is your marketing strategy? Do you have brand awareness? How are you cultivating that? How are you growing that? And that's like a constant, right? Because most of business can happen via word of mouth, but I think in the world that we live in right now, you kind of have to ask your clients for that word of mouth business, because it's not second nature, because we are so distracted with our devices, because we are so self-centered and busy. And that's no good or bad on anyone. It's just the reality of the world that we live in. So when we're looking at doing business in this current era, we have to sit down and map out some plans. But here's where spirituality gets to come in and be kind of this like epic role model for how we want our business to grow. So I think the thing is, early on in my coaching business, it was like, everyone was like, you have to be on Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, you're not really a coach, and therefore you are not successful. And so for years, you guys, like, I mean, if you've been around, you've been around, I talk a lot about getting on and getting off of social media, taking breaks. And I think it wasn't until like a month or so ago that I really have decided to give myself permission to say, fuck it. How do I want to build my business? And this is where your spirituality, your intuitiveness, your ability to choose for yourself how you want to grow your business gets to be the leader, the role model of your business. And I think the more we can tap into who we are and how we want to grow our business, how we want to create, because really that's all you are. You're a creator. You're creating something, you're putting it out into the world, and you're saying, I believe in this. I believe I am a vessel for this. And, here's how I want to bring it out into the world. Here's how I want to communicate that. And I think we struggle as entrepreneurs because we can get inundated with the noise or with, the people telling us, well, this is how it needs to be. This is how you should do it. But I think you sitting down and getting more curious about what is that for me, that's where your business gets to really take wings and unfold. So here's a great example. We bought our first rental property when Ruby was like 2 or 3 years old. So this is 7 years ago. Okay. At that time, Airbnb was huge. And we knew we didn't want to rent this property long-term. Renting long-term in Oregon is a pretty risky business because of squatting rights. And we've just had a lot of horror stories with friends. We've had our own horror story with squatting rights. So we knew we wanted to try our hand at short-term vacation rentals. Buy this property. I think we got the property like July 1st or something. No, actually, we would have gotten it like the end of June. So we got it the end of June, and we were like, okay, we have a week to flip this house and put it on the market for the 4th of July. And we busted our ass off. We had a couple employees come down. You know, we bought the house with all the furniture in it, so it was pretty much ready to go. But we came down with a few carfuls of stuff, cleaned, you know, reorganized, took out what we knew shouldn't be there, really tried to like impact it with some new like new linens and new blankets and that kind of a thing. So really like we're flipping this house like within a week, painting. We put in, it didn't have molding, so we put in all molding around the base of the floors, and then all around all the doors and windows. It did not have any molding. So we're finishing like carpentry and flipping and cleaning and trying to get pictures of it so that I can open up this Airbnb profile. I'm out, you know, in the front yard while like nail guns are going off, and I'm just like typing away, trying to get the description, trying to like be like, are we done with this room? Can I take a picture of it? Flip this property, get it up online, bam, rents. $500 a night on the 4th of July. We were ecstatic. So fast forward, you know, 6-7 years. I've now been managing, let's see, we had a rental in Southeast Portland until they changed the laws in Portland. And then we decided to sell that house, which was a great decision. Thank you, universe, because we sold it right before COVID. So 2019, end of 2019, we sold it. And let's see. So we've had those two. We had a trailer that I was renting for a little bit. That's off the market now because we're trying to move it to a different property where we're going to sell it owner contract. Super excited to do that for whoever is going to buy it. They're going to be able to build their dream house out of this, you know, little trailer on a property. We bought some commercial land and we bought the farm, and the farm is like almost ready for me to just fill it up. And so we're slowly buying furniture. I'm kind of antiquing some things, got like a list of all the things that I'm ready to go buy. And those businesses are all individual businesses. They're all individual properties. And I never, ever questioned how to market that business. I found my platform. I created the way in which I wanted it to work. Because here's the thing, with property management, with vacation rentals, you could do it on VRBO, you could do it on HomeAway, you could do it on all these different exchange sites. You could do it like my neighbor does it, where he has his own website and everyone books directly through his website. You could do it how my other neighbor does it, where it's like all word of mouth and it's just friends Venmoing them. You can build your business however you want. But the reason that I believe the property management is so successful is because I never let the noise of how everyone else is doing it get in my way. So, you know, our best year at the beach house, God, I mean, I think we're grossing in the upwards of $70,000. Has it had lower years? Absolutely. I'd say the average is probably more around 50. I think when you do a property like that, you know, depending on the size and how frequently you want to rent it and how frequently, you know, the area is in need of rentals, right? So like Oregon coast, it's not like a huge popular destination in the winter. So it's pretty low. You know, our high season is really for 3 months. But we also like to use it. So it's not on the market all the time. So could it make more? Absolutely. If we never went in there, of course. But we also bought this property because we wanted to enjoy it, right? And it's our retirement, you know, as both of us are entrepreneurs. You know, I did work for Portland Public Schools for a while, so I do have some retirement and PERS savings that's just like over here stockpiling away, which is awesome. But that's kind of it. So, you know, we have some stocks, but really what we love is the properties. And And I think that we're really good at it because we never question it. We just did it. We found our platform. We found our place where we wanted to be. And there have been moments where Nigel and I will get into an argument and he's like, you should go try VRBO. You should try. And I'm like, no, like it is Airbnb, and or we're building our own website and doing it that way. Because the calendar integration, like the way that Airbnb has it set up is so beautiful. I also love who they are as a company. They've been very accommodating to me, both as a owner and as a renter. I think that they protect both of their people. And I really, really like that, because I think you get better renters when your renters know that somebody has their back. And I think same as a property owner, you know, I know that Airbnb has my back. So that business works because I've never questioned it. I never thought about how to do it differently. I never got inundated with the noise, right? And then there's this trucking business where really it's just like, get your fucking licensing in order, get your bonds, get your insurance, get your equipment, and then get in with government contracting. Like that's it. That's your path. And get to know people. I mean, the more people you go shake hands with, the more your equipment's going to get called out for gigs. And that business has been challenging for me at times, because I am a blonde, skinny white woman going up against these, you know, very old school construction, you know, heavy equipment thinking men who are like, what are you doing in a dump truck? Like, and so their perception of what I can do, what I'm capable of doing, is a little bit off. So a lot of times it does take me showing up on the job site, which is what I hate doing. But I do it because that business is very lucrative. When you get a big government contract, you know, you're kind of locked in. It's tricky to get all of that set up. But again, it's like, I'm not questioning how I'm doing it. It's really just not something I'm super passionate about. It's actually a business that I'm kind of hoping to sell here in the next few years. And so it's like, I want to build it up to a sellable point. And so I definitely have not put the energy or the time into that business that I should, because I'm out here trying to learn how to fly helicopters and cook French food, right? Okay. So, but again, like, I'm not really questioning it. Like there's a very clear path to how that business operates. You know, it's get your licensing, get your structure, you know, get your name, get your bonds and insurance, your equipment, get in with the government contracting. Once you're in, it's like, now I'm just addicted to my computer and scrolling through jobs, and then it's putting bids out. I mean, bid after bid after bid, and you're going to put 10, 20 bids out, and you're maybe going to get called back on one. And so it's constant, right? So that is like a never ending rat race. And I think that's why I don't like it as much, is because you're kind of just constantly putting bids out there and you don't even know if people are looking at them, to be honest. So that's that. But then you come into my coaching business, and my coaching business, I've never had a clear path. I've never given myself the permission of, this is how you build it, and this is what pencils, and this is what makes sense, and this is what feels good. It's kind of like this oversaturated world where you've got a shit pile of people just jumping in because anyone can do it. There's no regulation to it, right? So with the properties, they're regulated. I have to, you know, me or our assistants or whoever is helping us, you know, we're getting an actual legal business set up, right? We're getting a QuickBooks account set up. We're getting bank accounts set up. We're getting checks in that business name set up. We have to get licensing. We have to get insurance. We have to get, permits from the county. Sometimes you have to get permits from the state. Sometimes you have to get permits by the city. So you have your city, your state, and your county permitting offices. You know, you got to be in compliance of everything. You have to make sure that you're doing all the safety checks. So there's tons of like loops to jump through. You can actually just go up and set it up, but somebody's going to catch you, and there are going to be a shit ton of fines that come with that. Same thing with the trucking business. I had to go get my I had to go get my contractor's license. So I am actually a certified legal, whatever the fuck you want to call it, contractor for the state of Oregon, which just does not tell you enough about how much you need to vet your contractors, because you guys, I can hardly fucking nail anything into the wall, let alone build you a deck or anything. So like, please verify that your contractor that you're hiring actually can do the work that they're coming to do for you. Because the licensing process for that, yeah, it's a big giant test. It's basically, it reminded me of like Business 101 that I took like introductory in college. So I had to get my contractor's license. Then I had to go get my CDL. So I have my Class B driver's license, right? So I can actually drive a dump truck, right? I have to be able to perform like any equipment or job that I put out in these bids. The owner has to be able to do those tasks. So you can't just like be like, I'm going to start a trucking company and buy a dump truck. Like, actually, it's not that simple. You do actually have to be able to drive the dump truck and do shit with the dump truck. So there are hoops. And so those two businesses, I feel like I have more confidence behind, because there was some structure to it, right? But then it was like this coaching business. It's like there's nothing, it's like anyone can just open an Instagram account and say, I'm a coach, which is awesome. That's great, right? Instagram, I think, has been, and all social media, not just Instagram, but social media itself has been this great platform where you can be like, I have an idea. I want to be creative. I'm going to put forth this creation. And look, here's this free platform with billions of people that I get to just do it. And I can make sales right away because I just put my information out there. But I think what happens is, for those of us who like the systems, who like the licensings, who appreciate the value of doing good business, being in that world can be so challenging, because it's saturated and it's noisy, and you got a bunch of fucking people telling you to do it this way or do it that way, or I have the method, I have the key, I will show you, all these things that they'll just like cut right through and show you how to do it. But the thing is it doesn't work unless it makes sense to you. So this is why spirituality and understanding yourself and knowing yourself and leading yourself, drowning out the noise, is so important. And I think for the longest time, I kept trying to fit these different models or these different paths to how to build a coaching business without ever really giving myself permission to, how do I want to build a coaching business? What do I want it to look like, right? My trucking company has no social media. I do no email marketing. Could I? And would I get more jobs? Yeah, maybe. I don't want to, right? That's like a very easy decision. Same with our rental properties. Do they have a website? Nope. Social media? Nope. Do I want to? Nope. Emails? Nope. Nothing. But you see a lot of people with Airbnbs who are like, go to my Instagram, join our email list, like, yeah, there are so many ways to build a business, but what is the way that makes sense for you? And I think it's like so easy to get lost in the noise. And I know that I got lost in the noise. I got lost in, this is how it has to be built. If you're not showing up, if you're not posting online every day, if you're not this, if you're not that, and then it's like, I remember, you have to have an email list, you have to have a private group, get people funneling in here. And it's just like, what do I want to do? What makes sense for how I want to build this business? And I'm going to tell you, it looks differently than most coaches in the online space, because I'm not most coaches, because I actually have my ICF certification, because I actually have insurance for my business, because I actually have, a legal business name. I'm not a DBA. I'm actually like a registered, legit business that files taxes and pays taxes. So every time somebody pays me, I pay 50% taxes. Okay. So when I started this business. I started it like a legit fucking business, but I have never run it like a legit fucking business. I've ran it like this Instagram candy store where there's like a million options. And I'm finally, excuse me, sorry, getting over a cold. I'm getting really fired up. Also, I think I'm coughing because I'm clearing my throat chakra as I'm speaking and sharing this, because I want my business to be a legitimized business. I want to run it like a legitimized business. I want to help mentor and coach people to run business better and feel better running business. I want you to be excited for the work that you're doing, for the content that you're creating, for the thing that you're bringing forth into the world. And I don't think you do that when you're listening to the noise of how you should do it. How do you want to build your business? Because there are a million different modalities that work. You just have to give yourself permission to explore all the different avenues. And this is why I'm loving podcasting. I love this. I don't even know how many, people are listening full through, because the analytics of that aren't even on here. So I might just be talking to myself at 28 minutes right now, but I still love it. And I'm having a lot of fun, and the energetic exchange feels really, really good. 26 minutes. Damn, I'm going to need to get glasses, you guys. 26 minutes in. So spirituality and entrepreneurship do need to coexist, I believe. The feminine energetics, the masculine energetics, they both need to coexist, because we got to get shit done, because we live in this world and there's an algorithm for everything. And you can fight the algorithm, or you can say, I'm doing this. It's nourishing. It feels really good. I'm going to keep going because I've got the systems in place. I'm organized as hell. I'm being very intentional about how I'm bringing forth the thing that I'm creating. And I'm going to be really excited about it. I'm going to love it, and I'm going to keep doing it. And here's the thing about entrepreneurship is you got to keep fighting for your business. You got to constantly be reevaluating and reorganizing and looking at the algorithm and seeing where your energy input versus energy output versus what am I receiving? What's my receptivity? Where are people coming from? I think I talk to a lot of business owners all the time, and I'm like, well, where are you marketing? Well, I'm not really. Well, no fucking shit that you're not selling anything. Like, what do you mean you're not marketing? Well, I don't really want to write an email. Okay, great. Don't write an email. Don't build an email list. Option number 2 is social media. Well, I don't really want to be online. Okay, great. Don't be online. What about knocking on people's doors? What about ads in the newspaper? What about a PR person that's trying to get you, maybe be your own PR person, get in on magazines, get in on the local TV channel. I have a bunch of people that I know who sought out the local TV station and said, hey, I'm a small business. Would you do a feature on me? Have you called old clients? Have you texted old clients? Have you, gone out to coffee with old clients? Hey, I know you bought a pair of my socks last year. How are they holding up? Do you need a new pair? Look, I have this new style. Trunk shows, farmers markets. There's tons of ways in which you can bring forth your idea into the world in a unique, creative way. I can keep going and problem solving, but I will save that for those of you who are bold enough to say, I want to learn how to do business my way. I want to learn how to feel really good. I want to get inspired. I want to feel empowered to do business my way, to feel better in my life. And maybe you're not in business. Maybe you're just, working for the man, or you're working for somebody, and you're just like, man, I really just need to be better about my boundaries here. Like, it's the same. You are an entrepreneur because you're leading your own life, right? So entrepreneurship isn't just, oh, I make money because I own a business. Well, you make money because you work for somebody, but you might need boundaries around that. You might need better accountability. There might be a better outlook or perspective that you could take forth into that workplace. Maybe you're leading a team of people Maybe you're a teacher leading a team of kids and you just need to like flip the switch and fall back in love with the work that you're doing. I do that too. And it's the same, I will say. It is all about the intentionality and being really hyper aware of what's working and what's not working and being curious enough to see how I could do it differently. This is you choosing. This is you saying, I have the control. And I think we have a lot more control over our life than we give ourselves permission for. It's just that we don't take enough time to get intuitive, and this is the spiritual side. We don't take enough time to get curious about ourselves, about how it can look differently for us. We don't intuitively tap into, what does this get to look like? How does this get to be better? You know, what am I creating? What am I bringing forth? How am I sharing it with the world? You know, I think all of it is just about, are you willing to get curious about yourself and what makes sense for you? And the thing is you guys know this, if you've been in my world long enough, I'm not on social media really. And I really am enjoying not being on there. And you know why? Because I am noticing how much more creative I have been in the last month not being on social media. My creativity has spiked. I'm much more inundated with ideas about my own way than I am about, so depressing that I have to get on this app and do it this way. And again, I don't think there's anything wrong with the people who are loving it and thriving and feeling really good. I just really hope that you're also living and enjoying the real world and real life. And that's it. That's intuitiveness. That's spirituality. That is you deciding to have the freedom of choice. And what I'm saying is, I don't want to build my coaching business on Instagram. It's not working for me. And it doesn't have to work that way for me. But I have to get off Instagram, get curious about what other modalities there are. And now I get to play with those and see what works for me. So this month, you know, you guys are listening to this episode and I will have done 3 in-person events. One of them will be online, 2 in person, excuse me. I will have attended other networking events this month. I have really enjoyed growing my email list. I've grown almost 100 emails this month, which is like mind-blowing how fun, quick, and easy it has been to grow my emails and add to my email list. I'm really enjoying being on my blog, and I'm absolutely obsessed with podcasting. And I really hope that you're enjoying it as well. So spirituality does need to exist in our life. And all spirituality is, it doesn't matter what you believe. You can be Muslim, Hindu, Christian, Catholic, Muslim, I already said that, Mormon, atheist. All I'm saying spirituality is who am I? Your inner being, like the little tiny unicorn you that's like caged up inside. What is it that like you need to unlock within yourself so that you're being really intentional with your life, so that you're not feeling guilt or shame around choosing yourself, so that you're forging your own path and that you're bringing forth your own unique, creative way of being in the world. That's what spirituality is it's about connecting to you and bringing forth your magic into the world in your unique way. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be an entrepreneur. It's just an option for those of you who are. But I think every person is an entrepreneur because you have so much more choice. You have a choice about your mindset when you go to work for somebody. You have a choice about, you know, the contract you agree into. And it all gets to change. That's the permission I want you to understand, is whether you are a business owner or you're just working for someone else or you're not working or whatever, wherever you're at, you have so much more choice. But it won't feel good unless you get to know yourself. So in order to feel good, you got to insert some level of spirituality, some inner connection, something that goes beyond this is my 3D body. What you see in the mirror is what you get. It's like, no, what's underneath that layer? Who's inside? And it's about unlocking the inner parts of you and starting to honor those and to play with them and to get curious about, oh, actually, I don't want to be doing what I'm doing. What is it that would really be nourishing for my soul? What would make me excited about living again? And I have to tell you, I think I've been the most productive since I've deleted social media off my phone. I've gotten so many more bids out for contracts. I have felt more present in my life. I feel so much more productive. And again, like I said, I'm so creative. So like for me, that is the right decision. It's not for everyone. This is my path, my journey, my choice. What's your path? What's your journey? What's your choice? Can you take time to get curious about it? Are you willing to invest the time or money that it would take for you to get curious about it? Because let me tell you, you can feel better. It takes a little bit of time, money, effort, but it's worth it and you're worth it. So that is my rant on spiritual entrepreneurship, how it all has to blend together like a beautiful, braid. And it's not as complex as you might think. Just takes a little bit of curiosity. So hopefully this resonates with you. If it does, please make sure that you give this a thumbs up, subscribe, and follow. Every time that you share this with somebody, it just makes my heart go pitter patter. So thank you for those of you who are sharing these conversations. I really appreciate you listening and following along as I vulnerably unleash every part of my journey. I hope it supports you. That's the whole point, is that I'm here to support you, empower you, uplift you. So tell me how you're feeling. Please make sure to send in those comments. Let me know what you want to hear on the next critical conversation. We do have some great interviews coming up, so make sure you're tuning in all summer long. We're not going anywhere. We're looking forward to being here with you every Tuesday and sometimes a special pop out on a Thursday. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy. You're worthy of it. And I'll look forward to speaking with you very soon.